I'm sure you've had paint scratches on your bike. Maybe not up here on the top tube, but you've probably had some down here by your crank or by your chain. And what if I told you I found a solution to fix paint scratches as big as this one to as big as this one to make your bike new again? Here, I have some touch-up paint from Road Taurus. The first step is to clean this as clean as you possibly can. You don't want any dirt, debris, anything. So we're gonna go take this bike out for a little wash. So the rain's died down a bit, and the first thing I'm gonna need to do is clean it, especially this scratch here, because it's huge and there's all sorts of stuff around it, and that's not good. Other ones, like this one, I'm just gonna clean just in case there's stuff I can't see, but you probably don't need to. You should do it anyways, just to be extra safe. Cleaned off the scratches, you want to use something very clean to dry it. So I'm using some paper towels here. I'm just gonna gently brush over it, and I'll do the same for all these other scratches here. And just like that, it should be dry enough. The first thing you may need to get out is some primer, like I have here, and this will be used to fix up any surface unevenness in your bike. This scratch here is down to the bare metal, and there's no way that surface is even, so I'm gonna have to put on a little bit of primer to it. So when you unscrew your bottle to pull the cap off, it'll have a brush for you. So now I just have to put on a tiny bit of primer to this. Barely needs to be any. I've installed my primer, and now I just have to let it sit for 60 minutes, and then I'll be back to put on the real paint. And the way you access these instructions for wait times and stuff is you scan the QR code right there on your box, and that's how you access it. So I've done my primer and everything, and now I just gotta put on the normal paint to fix up these scratches. So here I've got the custom-made, specialized oak green paint for this exact bike and color, and it's time to paint it up. All right, so I've got the brush, got a bit of paint, and now I'm just gonna keep going with it. So I've got the first bit of it painted up here, and I'm just gonna keep on going. Paint scratch looking pretty good so far. So filled in some of these paint scratches. Down here, I didn't do all of them just because I didn't want to paint over everything, but I'd say it looks pretty good. And then moving around to the other side, there was a little paint scratch here. Got filled in quite nicely. There were some little blemishes right there. I don't think I really showed those. And down here, the biggest paint scratch I've ever seen on a bike, fixed up. So far, this is looking pretty good. And in 30 minutes, I'll be back to put on the second layer. I'm back for round two. It already is looking so much better. And we're just gonna put on the second layer. Gonna add a bit more paint down here. And so, pretty simple, don't need a lot, just a nice thin little layer here, and you can just brush over like that. So now I've added my second layers of paint here, pretty easy, and especially this one down here, can't even really tell where it is anymore. And there's this little guy here, looking a lot better already. Now the coloring was a bit off, just because I just put on the fresh paint. And in a couple hours, I'll check back, and super excited to see how this turns out. All that's left is for me to apply some clear coat paint onto these former scratches somewhere, over here. Now you can kind of see it, that it's a bit darker and everything. That's because my coat was probably too thick, but it's fine. Just make sure to apply a thin layer when you do it. Just a nice super thin layer of clear coat. That's all it'll take. And that's it for today's video. So everything went smoothly. This is amazing. And be sure to check out Road Taurus kits. They're honestly so great. I'm super happy I got this. And yeah, highly recommend, because my bike looks good as new again. And it'll be so much more when I go to resell it to get a Enduro bike, if that happens. Please consider subscribing and leaving a like, because it really helps out.